So, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Mike Trout is really good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Brian Talks Baseball, where I'm Brian and we talk about baseball. First off, before I get started, you guys notice anything different? Yeah, I kind of changed things up around here. Got myself a new little setup here, a new microphone. Everything else was stuff I had just laying around the house. I kind of just rearranged and made a new set. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. If you haven't already, go ahead and barrel up that subscribe button. You know I'm sticking to it. It's fine. Whatever. I'm really excited about this video. Like I said, we know Mike Trout is good, but just how good is he? Did you know he only had 3 MVPs? You know how many he should have? He should have at least 6. At least 6, and that's pretty conservative. We're going to talk about it right now. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to get into it. So we're going to start with 2012. Mike Trout's rookie year, won Rookie of the Year, burst out into the scene, tore up the American League, 30 home runs, 129 runs, led the league in runs, led the league in WRC plus 167, led the league in WAR 10.1. The problem, though, is that some guy named Miguel Cabrera was out here winning the Triple Crown. I get why they gave him the award. You know, he won the Triple Crown. That's so hard to do. Only however many people have done it. It hasn't been done in almost half a century or whatever the last time it was. Miguel Cabrera, you know, he did lead the league in weighted on base, but because of the park adjustment, the league average adjustment, Mike Trout, a little bit more. And here's what's crazy, guys. You look at the WAR. I know WAR is not everything. It's an approximation based on a player's overall contribution, but Mike Trout blows him away. Absolutely blows him away. And this is Mike Trout's first second place MVP finish. He very clearly should have been given the award. So I'm going to go ahead and keep score here at the bottom of the screen. So MVPs that Mike Trout should have 1, MVPs he actually has 0. So let's go on to 2013. So Mike Trout follows up his amazing rookie year with an even better rookie year. Okay. 423 on base, 176 WRC plus, 10.2 WAR. So he was just a hair better according to the WAR approximation. Led the league in runs again. But here's the problem: Miguel Cabrera, who just won the Triple Crown, had an even better offensive year in 2013. So again, that counts against Mike Trout. Because at this point, you got to remember Miguel Cabrera is in his prime, and we're still wondering who Mike Trout is. This is the second full year in the big league. So again, I understand. Miguel Cabrera won the batting title again, even higher batting average, even higher on base. I mean, in the Triple Crown categories, I mean, really, even in like on base percentage, slugging, weighted on base, even WRC plus. In 2013, Miguel Cabrera might have been more deserving of the award over Mike Trout. But again, you look at the WAR numbers because that takes into account the defense and the base running. Mike Trout still blows him away. It's still not that close. Yes, at the plate, Miguel Cabrera was actually better than Mike Trout in 2013. In 2012, it was pretty close, but again, you take into account the other parts of the game, Mike Trout just, again, blows him away. So let's update the score. Mike Trout should have MVPs 2, actual MVPs 0. So let's move on to 2014. This year, he actually wins the MVP, but we're still going to compare him because we want to be fair, right? We want to make sure if we're going to talk about the years that he didn't win MVP and he should have, we should talk about the years he did win MVP, and whether he should have or not. So 2014, Mike Trout wins his first MVP. Led the league in RBIs and runs. I think, let's be honest, that probably had a little bit more to do with the RBI total. 176 WRC plus, 8.3 WAR. So, by Mike Trout standards, not his best year. And it's ironic that this is the year he takes home his first MVP. Victor Martinez, who was a second place finisher, actually had a better year offensively, slightly. It's close. But again, on the defensive side, again, we're taking into account all aspects of the game. Mike Trout, again, blows them away, wins the award, should have won the award. Let's move on. 2015, Mike Trout's 4th full year in the league, his 3rd second place MVP finish, which I think is just hilarious because he really should have 3 MVPs to this point. He only has 1. So 2015, Josh Donaldson wins the MVP, and Josh Donaldson had a very good year. Led the league in RBIs, led the league in runs. Again, though, Mike Trout, better on base percentage, led the league in slugging, led the league in weighted on base, led the league in WRC plus, led the league in WAR. The gap isn't huge, and I know people like to take into account, the fact that the Blue Jays were, a playoff team, and Josh Donaldson had so many great moments for them that year. Unlike the other guys that Mike Trout, or the other guy, Miguel Cabrera, that Mike Trout finished second to in the MVP, Josh Donaldson actually was a good defender. So this is probably the first time I would say that, Josh Donaldson might have been close to equally deserving. But again, like slugging, weighted on base percentage, WRC plus, Mike Trout blows him away. Like it's not even really that close. So again, this year, even though it's a little bit closer, let's update the score. Mike Trout should have 4 MVPs. He still only has 1. 2016, again, he actually won his second MVP this year. So we're going to look at the numbers. Second place finisher was Mookie Betts. Triple Crown categories, they were pretty close. Mike Trout led the league by runs by 1. On base percentage, a lot better. Slugging, pretty close. Weighted on base, Mike Trout was a lot better. WRC plus, not even close. WAR, a whole win and a half better than Mookie Betts. So again, Mike Trout wins the MVP, should have won it. Now, let's update the score. We're at 5 MVPs that Mike Trout should have. He only has 2. Now, 2017 is interesting because this is possibly his best offensive year, blows everybody away in every category, only played 114 games. So you take that into account, right? But still, I mean, led the league in on-base percentage 442, led the league in slugging 629, led the league in weighted on base 437, led the league in WRC plus 180, right? Jose Altuve was the one who ultimately won the award. You can make the case that Aaron Judge really should have won the award. I know some people don't like to give the MVP to, and Rookie of the Year to the same person, MVP Cy Young to the same person, whatever. Aaron Judge should have won the award, let's be honest. But, if Mike Trout, maybe plays 130 games, maybe plays 140 games, you could still make the case that he should have won the award based on his rate stats being so much better. I know slugging and weighted on base were pretty close when it came to Mike Trout and Aaron Judge, but 442 on base, man, that's insane. 6.8 WAR, that has a lot to do with 114 games. But if you match up, if you would have played 153 games, 155 games, it wouldn't have even been a question. Mike Trout takes this. I'm not going to split too many hairs here. I'm not going to update the score. Should still be the same. We're going to have Mike Trout, should have 5 MVPs, still only has 2. Now, 2018 is another interesting one because he finished second to Mookie Betts in this year. And again, they're close in a lot of categories, right? Mookie Betts won the batting title, had a great year, hit 346. They both missed some time in the DL, so this actually makes it a pretty fair comparison. Mike Trout more home runs, RBIs was pretty close. Mookie Betts led the league in runs. On base percentage, Mike Trout by quite a bit. Slugging Mookie Betts by a little bit. Weighted on base was, let's just call it the same. WRC plus, Mike Trout, beats him by 10 percentage points. Before I start splitting hairs here, and I'm going to split hairs, but before I do that, I do want to say that I think Mookie Betts was a perfectly acceptable MVP. I think that in a lot of ways he should have won the award. He had a better year, but I do want to get into some other numbers because, again, I want to split hairs right now. So if we look at some other numbers, and I want to put this in context because I think it's important to understand how good Mookie Betts had to be in 2018 to beat out Mike Trout. Okay, so Mookie Betts had a 180 career WRC plus when his career average is 135. Okay, part of him having a 180 WRC plus that year was because it was floated by a batting average on balls in play of 368. Okay, when his career average is 314, league average is usually 290 to 300. Home runs per fly ball was also like way higher than his career average, way higher than the league average that year as well. 16.4 home runs per fly ball, 11.9% is his career. I think the league average that year was right around the same. And if you compare that to Mike Trout, yeah, Mike Trout had a 346 BABIP, but his career BABIP was 348, right? He had a 24.5 home runs per fly ball, which is a lot higher than Mookie Betts' that year, but his career average is 21.4. And, Mike Trout's WRC plus that year, 190, his career average is 172. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is if we're going to split hairs here and we're going to talk about actual skill, I think Mike Trout still should have won the MVP that year. It's important to know that, and Mookie Betts isn't, an average player or a good player. He's a great player. He's probably the consensus number 2 player in Major League Baseball. But even him, he had to perform so far above his average. He had to be out of his mind to be as good as Mike Trout. And like I said, I don't have any problem with him winning the award, but this just goes to show how good you have to be to beat Mike Trout, because Mookie Betts performed out of his mind and Mike Trout basically performed to his career norms, across the board. So if I'm looking at which player actually had the best skill that year, I think Mike Trout should still have won the MVP. Now, again, I think Mookie Betts was still deserving of the award, so I'm not going to update the score. I'm not going to say that Mike Trout should have won the MVP in 2018. But I think there still is a strong case because he performed to his talent level. And I think that's important, where Mookie Betts, not to say that he was lucky, but again, he had to be so much better. He had to be out of his mind. If you look at his 2019, Mookie Betts' 2019, he went back. He had another great year, but he went back to his career norms. He had a 135 WRC plus, which was exactly his career average going into that year. So again, I'm not going to update the score. I could, but I'm not. So we're still at 5 should have MVPs and 2 actual MVPs. Now, 2019, another interesting year as far as the MVP discussion for Mike Trout and the second place person, because he actually won. So now we can update. He's got 3 MVPs post 2019. Second place finisher was Alex Bregman. Now, I was fully expecting Alex Bregman to win the MVP. Not because I thought he was better, because if you look at the categories, I mean, Mike Trout had more home runs, better on base, better slugging, better WOBA, better WSU plus, higher WAR by a little bit. The reason why I was fully expecting Alex Bregman to win over Mike Trout was, again, Alex Bregman being on the playoff team, but also Mike Trout did miss quite a bit of time. Alex Bregman did not. So to where 2017, where his DL time cost him the award, I thought it would have in 2019 as well, but it didn't. So that's good. So even though he was the best player, even though he did miss some time, they still ponied up and gave him the award. So that's good. So now we can update the score again. He should have 6 MVPs. He actually has 3. And again, I think that's still conservative. I think you can still make the case that he should have won in 2018. And even in 2017, even though he missed so much time, he was so good, you still might even make the case that he should have won in 2017. But I'm not going to do that. Mike Trout should have 6 MVPs. There you have it. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, do me a favor, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I want to keep making content like this. I want to make some longer videos, some shorter videos. The best way for me to know that you're enjoying the content that I'm making is to please subscribe. And again, yeah, I mean, I redid this whole setup. I did this for you. I have no purpose for this space other than to create this content. So again, if you enjoy it, please subscribe. How many MVPs do you think Mike Trout should have? Do you think he should have 6? Do you think he should have 5? Do you think 3 is appropriate? Do you think he should have 8 for every full year he's been in the league? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm always willing to engage in the debate. Nobody's challenged me so far, which is upsetting. But yeah, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for coming. I'll see you guys next time.